My name is Grace Webster, and I'm going to take you through my work timeline. So, first job, I was 18 years old, and I worked as a cosmetic consultant. And even though I really enjoyed, the makeup side of things and helping people, just to choose their colors and things like that, the thing that just did not work for me is I was an absolutely terrible salesperson. So I didn't last very long over there, but I did enjoy the shop that I worked in. It was a fantastic environment. And then I moved to London and worked as a home carer. This was basically with a company that was working with Lambeth Borough Council, and it was mainly people that had been discharged home from hospital. And I bizarrely did that. I was not driving at the time, so I did that on London Transport, and somehow I managed to, go from place to place, and managed to keep within my times, which was quite frustrating because everything was always slotted within 30-minute slots, and it just doesn't work. It's not a one size fits all, so I found that a bit frustrating. So sorry, I'm going from backwards, just talking about what didn't work as well as I talk about each profession. And then I moved to Bristol, and I worked in mental health on an acute ward as a senior support worker on an acute ward, and that's when I realised that this was the job, the work that I was really, happy to be working with people, and for me, it was a calling rather than, being in a job. And then I also worked at a day centre for day services for people with learning disabilities, and then I had some personal life changes which had me moving to Northampton. Then I decided I wanted to go into occupational therapy, so I decided to move to Northampton to study at the University of Northampton. So while I did my studies for the 3 years, I also worked part-time as a senior support worker with people with learning disabilities as well. So I think for me, that's the time when my life-work balance was really challenged. That's when I realised how important it was to maintain life-work balance, because then I was a single mother, full-time student, and working as well, and also still trying to be part of my family. And it was quite challenging, but it was a rewarding 3 years. That's where I learned quite a lot about myself as a person during that time. And then I moved back to Bristol, which is where my family is, and worked as a therapy practitioner. And from there, another personal life event moved me to Oxfordshire, which is where I am now, and working as a team leader and activities coordinator. And I've done that for the last 3 years, and also working as a volunteer befriender and just getting to know the community. And going back to what worked, I found that care and support is what I'm really passionate about, and it worked, being able to work in a person-centered way, because for me that was what was most important in everything that I did. And just basically just feeling the reward of making a notable positive change to people's lives, and generally just seeing a smile on someone's face. For me, I think that was the most pleasing outcome measure, just seeing someone smile, someone that I had not smiled in quite a while. And I think I've really touched on the fact that what didn't really work was that I'm not a salesperson. I cannot sell anything, and so that's, and my skills are I'm a very patient person. I've actually been told that my patience sometimes is way beyond what is humanly possible. And I'm enthusiastic. I believe I have good interpersonal skills, organizational skills. I'm a quick learner. I love to learn new things. I love to discover. Anybody asks a question I don't know, I'm so quick to try and investigate what the answer is, because I'm very curious and I want to know things. And I'm very flexible, and I think I'm also really good at relating to people from diverse backgrounds and cultures. And my interests are traveling, spending time with my family, supporting children's sports, scrapbooking, and memory collection. in the family, I'm called the memory collector. If anybody wants to know what they did when they were really young, they say, oh, go to Auntie Grace, she'll probably have a picture of you doing that. And I certainly will. I collect pictures of everything that's got to do with my family. I've got all their pictures, all their young. So when 21st birthdays, I'm the auntie that always embarrasses them and things like that. And I'm a mug collector as well. So with my travel, every city I go to, I collect a mug from that city. So even though I'm not a tea and coffee drinker, I've got this enormous collection of mugs in a cupboard somewhere in my house that I keep because they remind me of all those days traveling. And what I would like to do most in the world is actually run a charity in Africa to support women and girls. That is the utmost dream, and just be able to, help them to live happy, healthy, and independent lives.